Hey everybody, welcome back. I got an amazing pre-sale for you today. There's a huge discount on this. They're going to be launched August 1st, and I think if you're looking for a larger power station, this may be what you're looking for. This is the VigorPool Captain 1200 portable power station. Alright everybody, welcome back. So I wanted to give you a quick heads up on this new power station here. This is by a company called VigorPool. It's the Captain 1200. It's a 1200 watt power station. It's being launched August 1st, so I want to give you a heads up on the price on it. Normally these are $13.99. This is going to be down to $7.99, so if you're looking to step up your backup power station game, this is kind of a good deal to start with right here. You also have a ton of different new features on this that aren't in most power stations, so we'll get into that. I'm going to explain it to you really quick, and then we're going to do some demos with it and try it out with some heavier load devices. I'm not really going to mess around with the USBs and stuff, because if this can power an air conditioning unit, I really don't need to do that. So it's got all the outputs you need. You can power up to 12 devices at once. It's got 2 of the regular USB ports on the top here, 200 watt PD ports on the bottom. You have a USB-C port up there, down here, and that can do 100 watts, so that can charge 2 MacBooks at full speed. So if you have a device that's a 1200 watt device, or maybe let's say 1100 watts, and when you turn it on it surges to, let's say, 2000 watts, this can handle it no problem at all. Another neat feature on this, and I recently just got a cell phone that can do this, and it will time out like that, that's normal, is the wireless charging on it. I thought it was really cool. I finally got a cell phone that has wireless charging on it, and if you place the cell phone on the top of it, I'll pick you up to show it to you, you will get wireless charging. I don't know if you can see that. Let's try that again, because it immediately stopped. Alright, there you go. So it does do wireless charging on the top, really not a big drain on the unit itself. Put you back down there. And that's kind of handy too for when you've used up your USB ports. I would focus more on this for something that you'd plug into, and those are on the back. We'll spin the unit around when we get to talking about that. This has a LiFePO4 battery. It provides 3,500 charges or cycles before 80% of its original capacity remains. That's longer compared to most lifespans of most portable generators. Most of them are using lithium ion. This is lithium iron phosphate, so it's a different type of battery chemistry. It's a whole lot safer. It's also a whole lot more efficient and will last a whole lot longer. This does have pass-through charging as well, so you can charge this and keep it plugged in, or keep it plugged into a solar panel while you're running the AC ports off the back. Another neat feature of this is it does have a Wi-Fi connection. So you can connect this to your phone, like I have set up here, and run everything off. And I'm going to give you the display here, turn on the display so you can actually see me controlling it. Spin around there. Let's turn on the USB. See? There you go. And I can turn off the wireless charging if I wanted to. I can turn on the flashlights on the side. And those are kind of handy. I can do, let's see, ambient, strong, flashing. Okay, I can do left or right, either one, like that, or all lights. So that's kind of handy too. Not really a huge feature on this, but I do like a little flashlight on my power station, because normally when you're using these, you're going to be using them when the power's already out. So that is a nice little handy feature. You can plug up to 2 of these together and monitor both of them at the same time. And let's say your whole family is using this, you don't have to sit there and keep walking back over to see how much is left or how it's doing. So that does have the VigorPool app right there, and you can pick that up on any of the Play Store, or any kind of store that has your phone apps in them. Alright, so let's talk about the faster recharging on this. Because this is a lithium iron phosphate, you will get faster charging on this. This can fully recharge in 1.5 hours or less using the types of charging you can do. There's 5 different ways to charge this, okay? So you've got 5 different self-charging methods that allow you to keep this powered up and ready for the next outage. You can do solar and AC combined. So you can plug this into the wall and plug your solar panels in it, and you get up to 1,200 watts of solar. That can take you from 0 to 80% in 1 hour. AC, of course, is 800 watts, takes about 2 hours to fully charge. You can use up to 400 watts of solar panels, and that takes about 4 hours to charge. Car charging will take about 14 hours at 12 volts. And you can charge this via generator, and it takes about 2 hours to charge total. Okay, I quickly wanted to show you on the back. You do have pure sine wave inverters on the back. 1,200, like we said, that goes up to a peak of 2,400 surge if you do have a device that does do that. To turn it on, you're just going to push the button and hold it on. you'll hear the unit click on and start working. It does have an internal fan to cool it off if you need that. So you have 4 outlets there. Now remember, when using these outlets, it's a combo of 1200 watts. If I put 600 in here and 600 here, that's fine. If I put 12 and 12, that's not going to work. It's going to overload it. You do have your parallel port here. This port, you can order this too. The order for this will be a little bit delayed. It'll come about a week after your power station comes. If you decide to order 2 of these, you can connect them in parallel and get yourself 2400 watts. So that's the back really quick. I want to talk about the safety of the battery. This one, with the lithium iron phosphate, has overcharge protection, over discharge protection, overload protection, short circuit and high current protection, high temperature protection, and that's when your fan will kick on, so don't worry about that, and low temperature protection. So let's try this out. We're going to start this out with probably one of the highest drain devices other than your AC units in your house, and that is a coffee machine, believe it or not. I'm going to plug in a little single serving pod coffee maker into this, and we're going to see how high it gets and how well it does. Alright, so here we go. We're going to try this out. I'm going to pop that in there. This is just a little individual coffee maker here. Watch the watts on it. Let's start it up. Now 720, 793, 800. So you can tell when it heats the water, it draws a lot of current. Now this doesn't get up to the thousands. When it does, at some point it'll get around that. But it doesn't get up to the thousands, but a larger coffee machine will draw a ton of power. And as you can tell, it says 83 minutes at that temperature. But how long does it take to make a cup of coffee? Maybe 5. So you'll get a bunch of coffees out of this. Anyway, I'll bring you back when it's brewing, and we'll watch the output and see how high or low it goes. You can kind of hear it warming up the water in there. So we'll be right back. Alright, so I wanted to show you on the app here that we're using 800, 812, 813. It's in its second stage of heating up the stuff. You can see the battery usage. We're still at 93%. And the AC is on. Okay. This is your temperature in Celsius. Whoops. Cut that out. Get that out of there. So really handy to be able to monitor it. Now you notice it drops down to almost nothing when it's just pumping the coffee, because it's just pumping it. That's already in there. And then you go back to 54 hours of that. So very, very neat little product. All right, let's try it out with, after a sip of coffee, of course. Let's try it out with a window unit air conditioner. It isn't mounted in a window. Yes, I know that's not the correct way to do it, but you will hear the compressor kick on and it will show how much power it's using. And then we'll try it out with my freezer. All right, right now this is powering that freezer you see underneath it, 515 watts. I've got 3 hours of time on it in order to get it to kick on, and it's kind of dark in here, but you guys can see the screen. Let me zoom you in a little bit. In order to get it kicked on, I had to unplug it for a few minutes. And now you notice it's shut off because it's up to temperature. I had to unplug it for a few minutes to let it get cold. But as you can see, that can power, if it can power a freezer, it can definitely power your fridge for a couple hours. Let's move on to the most important test here, because it's hot, it's summertime, and we need to stay cool. We're going to try that little window air conditioning unit right there. And I know it's not mounted right. It's just going to sit there. The compressor does kick on, so you will be able to get an accurate test on it. Okay, so I have the plug here for the AC unit. We're going to plug that in. I'm going to try not to bump into the camera while I'm doing it. Okay, there we go. Now I want you to see the front and watch the draw on it. I'm going to turn it on low first. Okay, so we're about 300, 345, 360. And I can tell when the compressor kicks on because it starts to feel cold. Right now it's just kind of windy. Hasn't kicked on yet. But as you can tell, you got 3 hours. Oops, it always does that when I need it most. It times out. And the screen does time out, that's fine. So we got about 355, 354. We're going to give it a few minutes and let that compressor kick on. And one of the nice things I like about this is when I powered it on, it didn't do that slow kind of like it's struggling to turn on. It just turned right on like you plug it into an AC outlet. So let's give that a few minutes to let the air compressor kick on, although it's starting to feel like it is. Turn it up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. So you got 3 hours of air conditioning with this unit. 385 watts. The compressor is running. It is nice and cold coming out of there, even though this isn't set up right. And we're reaching about 394 watts now. The fan for this has come on. You see the little fan icon there. So that means this is being cooled off automatically. We're close to about 400 watts. So we are getting nice cold air out of there. and it's definitely doing its job. All right, let's take it back on the table. I'm going to give you some final information on it, and again, the pricing and information on it and when it will start shipping out. All right, so we've seen this thing power a lot of higher drain devices. One of the things I want to do is take it outside and put a 100-watt solar panel on it, and you will see your input over here as well. We're going to see how this charges up. Now, your inputs are down here, okay? You have a circuit breaker in the middle. You have an Anderson power pole for your input, for your solar, and then you have your regular wall plug. Now, this comes with two plugs. I'll show you here quickly. Your regular wall plug, and the nice part is it doesn't have a big wall wart or transformer or anything. It plugs directly in there, and you have that set up. It does have a PWM solar charge controller for the solar. You do have a plug here for your car, and there's your Anderson power poles if you're wondering what they look like. And this opens up down here. I don't know if you can see that. We'll see it better when we charge this outside. And this plugs into your car. Again, especially with the larger power stations, I always suggest if you're going to charge this, charge it while your car is running. Most cars now, the cigarette lighter will shut off when your car shuts off. But if you leave it in there in an older car, you will kill your battery. You'll charge this thing up, but you'll end up killing your battery. So make sure that your vehicle is running while you're charging this in your vehicle. All right, let's give it a shot with a solar panel. I have an Okemo 100-watt solar panel. We're going to take this outside. I'm going to set up the panel really quick, bring you down and show you what it looks like while it's charging, and we'll see how it does. All right, so we're out here. It's kind of windy. I hope it's not clipping my voice off, but regardless, this is the setup I got here on my stool. I have the panel right there, down on the ground, and that's just a 100-watt panel. I could have put a few more out here and do it up to 400, but 100 watts is good enough to give it a little test. When I plugged it in before, it was getting me about 60 to 70 watts and giving me about a 2-hour recharge time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put it here, and I just want to get it up a couple of notches, like to, I don't know, I think it was 90 or 91. I want to get it up to like 91, maybe 92, and we'll see how well we can do with that. So let me move it over, zoom you in, and let you see what it looks like. All right, so we got the Anderson power pole right down here, and I have you zoomed in so you can see the screen. One of the biggest problems I have with power stations out here is not being able to see the screen. It's very visible. Make sure I'm in there right. There we go. Okay, so give it a second to react to that. Cover up my microphone too. There we go, 53, 54. And again, it's not an optimal sunlight, but it's doing pretty good. For a 100-watt panel, that's not horrible. About 60 watts, 59 watts. Tells me it takes about 2 hours. There's my 60. As you can see, it's spinning around. I don't know if you can see that. So we're going to leave this out here. Maybe get it to like 91, 92, and just see how long it takes to do that. I'm going to give it a quick look at the clock when I go inside and see how long it takes to get this up to like one more level. All right, so we went 15 minutes, and we're up 1%. Now again, this isn't in optimal sunlight. I'm only getting 56 watts off it. I'm not putting it in perfect sunlight. But as you can tell, even in less than optimal sunlight, I'm still getting this battery charged up. In 15 minutes, I went at 1%. For a large power station like this, it's pretty darn good. So let's get it inside, get out of this wind here, and I will give you the final information on it and where you can pick it up once it's available. All right, so you've seen it power a bunch of high input devices, high output devices. You've seen it get charged up by solar, and yeah, we only went up 1%, but 15 minutes, that's really not bad, especially with a panel that wasn't in optimum position. So all in all, I'm pretty impressed with it so far. I have been using it in here on and off for about 2 or 3 weeks, and it's pretty much done everything I needed it to, including powering a hammer drill when I needed it. And that's one of the nice things about these portable stations is they go everywhere with you. So if you have to go to your backyard to do some cutting or sawing or drilling, you can take this with you and you don't have to run a ridiculously long extension cord all the way out there. So it definitely comes in handy, and if you're looking to kind of step up your power game, I know there's a lot of folks on here that look for budget deals, and you may have like a 300-watt one, and maybe you paid $350 for it back in the day. Well, this one is 1,200 watts, and it's got that peak all the way up to 2,400-watt surge. You can daisy chain it together, and this one is only going to be $7.99 when it starts, okay? So what you're going to be doing is going to the site. There's going to be a site down below there, the share a sale site, because that links to their site. That site is going to have a pre-order. So you put your pre-order in. They will not charge your card until the order goes away, until the order comes out, I mean. So you're not going to get charged for this until you actually order the unit and it's shipped. So all in all, pretty good deal. For $7.99 or $800 for a 1,200-watt power station, they're definitely starting to come down in price. And the quality is there too. I like the Anderson power poles for connecting. I think that's far better than the little 5.3 millimeter jacks. You get more amperage through them. It does have a circuit breaker on the front, and you can charge everything from the front and see what it's doing, along with having the app. And the app is really handy. It was funny, I was standing in my garage because it was cooler, and I kept walking out to check it, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to do that, I have an app. So the instructions for this, very, very straightforward and simple. There is nothing in here that's poorly written. You know, you can understand how to do it. They show you how to connect the two together and how to charge it via generator, how to charge it with the Anderson cable, all that. So very, very simple, very easy to do. One last thing I want to do is charge it up with the actual plug. I want to show you how that works. Really quick, we're going to do that, and I'm going to give you final information on it. But I want to show you quickly how the watts that you're getting in from it, and you'll just stick that in there, and we're going to plug it in right behind here, if I can ever untangle this cord. There we go. Now, we're going to see this start up. I'm going to turn on the display for you. You see it's plugged in. We're going to see it start charging up in a second here. And there we go. So, you're getting 98, about 800 watts. Okay, 10 minutes, that will be 100. So you can see there's a way, way higher charge rate from that. Now remember, I can stick a panel in here, put it outside, keep this plugged in, and charge it even faster, and have this done in 1 hour. Completely recharged in 1 hour. So that's pretty cool. With, I believe it's up to 400 watts of solar, you can do it in 2, from 0 to 80. You can do it in 1.5, 1.5 hours. So all in all, great little value, great little unit. I've been really impressed with it so far. It's done everything I needed it to do. I even plugged in a little portable TV, which I will be reviewing in the future, because I think that's an important information gathering tool, into the 12-volt socket. It is a regulated 10-amp 12-volt socket, so you're getting a consistent 12.8 volts out of it. No weird wild swings, so your devices will run with that. So your AC output, 120 volts, 60 hertz, 10 amps. Total of 1,200 watts surge to 2,400 watts. LiFePO 4 battery. You got a 50 amp hour, 1,280 watt hour battery in there. You have a wireless output on top there, which is 10 watts max. The weight on this, it's a little heavier unit. It's about 33.07 pounds or 15 kilograms. Dimensions, lengthwise, long way, it's 15.98 inches by 4.11 inches by about, that would be in centimeters, let's see, 40.6 by 23.9 centimeters. So all in all, not a huge unit, but definitely a little bit bulkier and better made than some of the other 1,000-watt units that I've tried, and this is up to 1,200. So I'm definitely liking it. Like I said, link will be down below. Check out the link, see for yourself if this is something you could use. I understand that we are more geared toward budget stuff on this channel, and as you can see, the fan is kicked on. But this is, for what its class is, a budget item, and it's definitely a good deal, and you can get in on the ground floor with these, and if you decide to pick up 2, you can get 2 and put them together. Anyway, folks, that's the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to click thumbs up if you liked the video. It helps us out with the algorithm. And our Amazon affiliate store is down below if you're interested in checking it out. Below that is our freeze-dried wholesaler link. That'll give you 15% off your order just by using the link. No codes, no BS. Just click the link and you'll save 15%. We have our My Patriot supply link if you have no food and you're just watching these videos and thinking about, I gotta get stocked up. You can use that site right there. It's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com, and you get $150 off a 3-month food supply. It was already affordable to begin with. $150 off is definitely going to help you out. And lastly, don't forget our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store and our Jace Medical antibiotic link. All the antibiotics you need for emergencies prescribed to you by a U.S. doctor after a telehealth visit. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. I'm going to let this charge up. Stay safe and stay prepared.